So in my last meme coin tier list video, I talked very briefly about a brand new meme coin that I never talked about before at the very end of my video. The name of that meme coin was called JUNKCOIN. And even though that clip was only about 2 minutes long, it resulted in an instant 2x. So let's go back and have a look at that clip. There is kind of a unique one. It's called JUNKCOIN. I kind of came across it as super low market cap of under $100,000, so extremely risky, of course. But once again, it fits into the entire fart coin, useless coin, trash coin narrative being called JUNKCOIN. So if you haven't had a chance to watch this video, what I'll do is I'll leave the link to this video in the description below. So make sure to check it out after you watch this video. So let's go ahead and jump to the price chart of JUNKCOIN. So we had mentioned in this clip that you had watched that we had found it when the market cap was under $100,000. So that was actually sitting right here. I'll just draw a circle around it right here in this area right here when the market cap of JUNKCOIN was only sitting about $95,000. And look what that video did right here. It absolutely sent this project from about $95,000 all the way up to about $250,000 in terms of his market cap. So originally I said that was a 2x, but that resulted in a 2.5x. So some instant phenomenal growth. So that was awesome to see, the community respond to the video very, very positively, which shows that there's appetite and demand for this type of meme coin here. And you can see that ever since, there was a pullback right here, but then it ran all the way up to close to $300,000 before retracing. And then now if you look at it, the current market cap of JUNKCOIN is sitting at $189,000. So if you got in when I had called it right here while the market cap was $95,000, then you'd still be a 2x from that call. So once again, none of this stuff is financial advice, so always make sure to do your own research. What I'm just doing is sharing my thoughts and opinions on these projects here. So there are two reasons why I am bullish on JUNKCOIN. Now the first reason will be the most obvious, and we'll touch on that in a second, but you want to stick around to find out what that second reason is that I'm bullish on JUNKCOIN. And the second reason is the reason that truly makes JUNKCOIN really, really unique and also separates it from the rest of the meme coin pack here. So let's jump ahead and jump into the first reason here. And as we had talked, that meme coin fits into that whole absurd meme coin narrative, that pretty much Fartcoin created. So right now, you have the likes of Fartcoin, useless coin, even trash coin, stupid coin, coins that have reached, tens of millions of dollars, if not into the billions at their all-time highs. Of course, the quintessential example of a meme coin that fits into this absurd narrative where, has that viral appeal because the barrier to entry is super, super low, and that's what is going to have massive retail appeal. We don't want a complicated project or meme coin where, the everyday person who's just getting introduced to meme coins or to crypto has to go through like a huge, journal to understand, or a huge documentary to understand what that project is about. And, projects like JUNKCOIN, for example, and Fartcoin create that easy opportunity for the everyday person or for retail to enter into the crypto space here. So looking at the potential of JUNKCOIN, which is sitting at right now, as we mentioned, $189,000. So if you look at what Fartcoin has created for us at its all-time high, it created an all-time high of over $2 billion. Right now it's sitting at a market cap of over $600 million. So if hypothetically, and of course this is not guaranteed, but we're just use this as a reference point, if JUNKCOIN was to reach the market cap of Fartcoin, that would be a 300x from here. Another example of a meme coin that has performed exceptionally well and fits into that whole absurd meme coin narrative is useless coin. So at its all-time high, it reached a market cap of close to $400 million. And right now it's sitting at a market cap of $152 million. So hypothetically, again speaking, if JUNKCOIN, which is sitting at $189,000 in terms of market cap, was to reach the market cap of useless coin, that would be a 100x from here. And also, more recently you have trash coin. Now trash coin, I believe, is going to be an absolutely monster this bull run. And at the peak of this bull run, trash coin reached a market cap of $15 million. And right now, the market cap of TrashCoin is sitting at just over $2 million. So if JUNKCOIN was to reach, hypothetically, the market cap of TrashCoin, that would be a 10x from here. So this, using the examples of FartCoin, UselessCoin, and TrashCoin, we just wanted to have an idea of the potential that could exist with JUNKCOIN. And the one thing with JUNKCOIN is that it has the longevity effect, being tied and associated to that same absurd meme coin narrative that FartCoin has created. So there's a very good chance, of course not guaranteed because there's nothing guaranteed in crypto, that FartCoin will continue to survive into the euphoric phase of the bull run and capitalize on that huge lift that usually comes with that euphoric phase of the bull run. And since JUNKCOIN has a lot of those same attributes as FartCoin, UselessCoin, and TrashCoin, and as long as it continues to get exposure and eyeballs, in my opinion, once again, not financial advice, I believe that JUNKCOIN has the ability to reach some pretty strong valuations here. But once again, nothing in crypto is guaranteed, and these are just my thoughts and opinions. Now, this second reason here is truly the differential factor that sets JUNKCOIN apart from the rest of the meme coins. And looking at this timeline right here, you could see that JUNKCOIN is third in line. So of course you have, pretty much the father of crypto, which is Bitcoin, being created in January of 2009. And then you had Litecoin in October of 2011, and then JUNKCOIN in May of 2013 here. So what this timeline is, it shows, the crypto projects that were derived from the code base of Bitcoin here. So in a way, Bitcoin is the father to all of these other crypto projects that you see here, being Litecoin, JUNKCOIN, LuckyCoin, BellsCoin, and then on December 2013, DOGECOIN. So you get to see by this timeline right here that the original JUNKCOIN cryptocurrency project actually predates DOGECOIN. So in a lot of ways, if you were to look at it from a family tree point of view, you could say that JUNKCOIN is the great grandfather of DOGECOIN. So let's actually get this right. So LuckyCoin would be the son of JUNKCOIN, BellsCoin would be the grandson of JUNKCOIN, and DOGECOIN would be the great grandson. And that's why I found JUNKCOIN a truly unique project, because when you look at the timeline right here, not only does it predate DOGECOIN, but also it shares the same DNA as Bitcoin, and as well as all these other popular projects right here as well. So really, really cool to see that JUNKCOIN, was one of the original OG coins when it comes to, pretty much an offspring of the Bitcoin code base. So here we are on the website for JUNKCOIN, and this paragraph right here sums up the entire history that we went through in this diagram. So let's quickly have a read right here so it connects all the dots for us in a very meaningful way. So you can see that JUNKCOIN is and should be the great grandfather of Doge. It has real history and is the OGs of OGs. It's one of the first meme coins ever created. So brief explanation of the Doge family tree to understand its history. So JUNKCOIN is the parent of LuckyCoin and BellsCoin, whose forks ultimately led to the creation of DOGECOIN. So if you're unfamiliar with what the word fork means, it is explained right here. So a fork means the coin was created by copying and modifying the Bitcoin code. And once again, we had talked about how Bitcoin is the father to all these crypto projects right here, because all these crypto projects are derived from the same code base as Bitcoin. So jumping back to the paragraph, we could see that JUNKCOIN was forked from Bitcoin's code base back in the early days. This implies both DOGECOIN and JUNKCOIN share similar technical DNA with Bitcoin, and JUNKCOIN is the great grandfather of Doge. So meaning OG Doge is actually JUNKCOIN. Its original chain became dormant, but today is reborn on Solana. So I know what a lot of people will be saying right now is that, this meme coin was not the original coin that was created in May of 2013. And you are correct on it, but this meme coin was created to encapsulate what the JUNKCOIN symbolizes, which is to be the OGs of OGs when it comes to being a fork of the Bitcoin, the whole Bitcoin history, but also being the great grandfather to Dogecoin. So once again, this is not the original JUNKCOIN project that was created in May of 2023, because obviously meme coins were not really popular at that time. But the whole purpose of JUNKCOIN being created today is to capture that history and that lore that comes with this particular project here. And the reality is that during the euphoric phase of the bull run, especially when it comes to retail, is that they're not going to care whether a meme coin is OG or whether that it was just made recently. They're only going to care, two main things is, first of all, what's the story behind this meme coin? Do I understand it? And then secondly, can this meme coin make me money? So that's why when it comes to this particular JUNKCOIN meme coin, that's why I believe it will still have viral appeal during the euphoric phase of this bull run. So really, really awesome to see, the history behind JUNKCOIN in here. And that's the other main reasons why I'm super, super bullish on this project here. And if you're wondering, if we jump to the X page, we notice that their icon is that of this ship here. So what's the deal with the ship? And once again, I'll jump to this explanation that we'll see right here by Marty Party. So this person, let's see here, has over 234,000 followers, and they created this post back in, I believe, January 25th of 2025, and you can see that it has over 220,000 views here. So a lot of attention got onto this X post. So this X post explains what's the connection between the JUNKCOIN icon, which is the ship here, and its history being related to Bitcoin. So you can see that Marty Party right here explains it in this X post. So in the original source code of Dogecoin, which was a direct copy of Bitcoin's zip file, in the zip is a bitcoin.cio file that's also an icon. This is what it looks like. What's this ship? Where did this go? So this ship here was part of the code base that you found in Dogecoin, for example. So he goes on to write in his next post that also in the Dogecoin original source code is this image naming the original token JUNKCOIN. So a junk is a Chinese ship. So the original name of Dogecoin was JUNKCOIN, and its original icon was a Chinese junk ship. So that's the history behind why JUNKCOIN has this ship here as its main icon, is because the word junk means Chinese ship, which was written in its source code. And that source code that had that code for this ship also appeared in the Dogecoin source code as well. So you can see that once again is a sign of the DNA of JUNKCOIN being passed on to its great grandson. So if we combine these two bullish reasons behind JUNKCOIN, in my opinion, once again, this is not financial advice. I believe that JUNKCOIN has the potential to perform very well this bull run. The very first one, once again, is its history when it comes to being a direct descendant of Bitcoin and also being the great grandfather of Dogecoin. So this makes JUNKCOIN absolutely unique that very few other crypto projects or meme coins have this attributes. And secondly, JUNKCOIN fits into that absurd narrative when it comes to meme coins that fart coin, useless coin, trash coin, stupid coin has created. And we have seen, the likes of fart coin and useless coin going into the hundreds of millions, if not into the billions, at their all-time high here. So with JUNKCOIN sitting at a market cap of only $189,000, really the sky is the limit for this meme coin here. So let me know in the comments below, how high do you see JUNKCOIN getting to at the peak of this bull run? And once again, nothing in this video is financial advice, so always make sure to do your own research. Also, crypto is risky, so as much as everything can go to the moon, it can go to zero as well. So please invest responsibly. Also, I am not a financial advisor, so if everything in this video sounds good to you, make sure to subscribe to this channel, turn on that notification bell, and give this video a big thumbs up. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.